Moi guys! Today I am going to start a new sketchbook, and that means just one thing. We have to draw together the first 2 pages. I decided to start this Moleskine portrait size sketchbook, and as you can see I have a lot of space for my first 2 pages. So without further ado, let's get started. With these first images, I decided to speak you about a little bit what I'm looking for when I have to paint my first page of the sketchbook. And in the second images, I will show you the entire process that I use to realize my final images. As you can see in this first image, I decided to choose characters that bring me joy. I wanted to feel very inspired every time that I open my sketchbook. But at the same time, I want also to remind myself the struggles that sometimes I face when I have to start a new drawing. Especially I suffer of the fear of the blank pages. Sometimes when I open my sketchbook and I want to start to draw something, I have a lot of ideas, but actually I don't feel that any ideas is good. And just when I start painting, my idea makes sense and I enjoy the process so much that I get completely lost and I completely forget the world around me. But many times I have to remind myself the joy that I feel after that I finish a painting on during the process, because the first brush stroke on the paper is the hardest one. I don't know if you can relate with this, if this happened just to me, but really I feel so difficult to start a new work, but when I started, I completely lose the sense of time and I will never stop. So I want to represent this in my character, especially the starting point of my drawing. And also I want to remind to myself to trust the process, because the images pass through so many bad steps in which you think that you waste your time and you don't want to finish it, but every single time when I finish the work, I don't regret it. I also decided to add a quote in the first page, and as you can see is a Walt Disney quote actually, and that represents fully what I just said to you and bring me a lot of inspiration. And now I will show you a sneak peek of the final piece that I did on the other page, and I will show you the entire process. So I started on my iPad with a drawing and I started with a lot of photo references, but in this case I found an image that was perfect for my idea. While with Donald Duck I merged many photo references and I made my own image. Then I started to paint the images and I use a brush that look like a color pencil. In this case I have the final feeling of the image on the page. And I also put the quote that I want in the Walt Disney font that I want to recreate. Now with the mechanical pencil I start to sketch out the image, and I try to copy it from my iPad. Then I write the final quote with the Sakura pen that has watercolor ink inside. Now I started to color with color pencils, and I decided to use this medium because this paper on those two pages is very thin and is not watercolor paper, so I thought that was the only medium actually that I can use. I started out with a thin layer and I cover all the surface. Then I started with a second layer. In this case I put a lot of pressure because the paper didn't allow me to do more layers, so I want to obtain a smooth and homogeneous final result with this second layer. Now I clean all the pencils line that I did before for the lettering and for the image. And very carefully I proceed to clean out all the lines that remain on the page. And that's it, guys. This is the final result. I have to say that I really like them. The colors are very vibrant on this paper and I'm happy that I chose this medium. I also like the quote and was my first time with lettering, but I have to say that I'm quite satisfied in the end. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe to don't miss any other content. See you next time, moi moi!